Hello everybody, welcome to Tom's Tips. Today we're going to have a look at waste pipes. The difference between solvent weld and push fit. There's the two pipes. That one is solvent weld, that one is push fit. There's a very slight difference in size. This is so that you can't get them mixed up. Push fit one, as suggested, pushes onto the fitting. So just a little bit of lubrication on the pipe and the fitting, if you like, and then push them together, and that forms a seal. What forms a seal is a little rubber inside, which can be displaced if you're not careful, if you don't put any lubrication on, or you've got a sharp burr that can push it out and cause a problem. So that's one thing you need to be sure of. You can't get them mixed up because if you try to put a solvent weld fitting on push fit pipe, it's too loose. That would never seal, that would never glue. So we'll put that down for a minute. This is our solvent weld pipe. This is our solvent weld fitting. Then you can see that's a much tighter fit. And to fix them, you need this stuff, solvent cement. We call it glue, but it is a very strong solvent, and you've got to keep this out of the way of children, animals, old people, some plumbers as well. As you say, put it on the pipe, make sure you touch every part of the pipe. Same with the fitting, make sure you touch every part of the fitting. Put it together, give it a twist. In a few seconds time you won't be able to part that, because when it's stuck forever, that. So that's a good idea to have in a place where you can't get in the void or under the floor, you know, somewhere where you're going to put it once and leave it. The disadvantage with that one is that if you've cut it wrong, you've glued it wrong, you're stuck. You're going to have to cut it and reform it using more couplings, elbows, etc. Whereas with push fit pipe, if you get that wrong, you know, you can pull it apart, saw it, put it back together as many times as you like. It'll be okay. Now then, there's also compression fittings. Now compression fittings they'll fit both solvent weld and push fit. So you've got three types of fittings, two types of pipe. All the traps, that's a kitchen trap. It's got a thing on there that you can put a washing machine in or a dishwasher. You can get these with two in, and this is a good quality trap. This is a McAlpine trap, and they seem to put a little rim on the inside here, and the reason for that is because you've got a difference in diameter on push fit, and that's a push fit pipe on a McAlpine, and that's a very good nice fit. Of course, we've got a rubber on there. We're going to put a rubber on there, a cone and a nut. That'll cause a seal. We're on a cheaper trap. This is a cheap one that you'd probably buy from, you know, B&Q, Screwfix, Tool Station, all them. It hasn't got that little inner ring, so when you put push fit in, it's a bit more wobbly, but it still forms a seal because you've got your nut and then your cone. So once you've got them together and screw it up, it does form watertight seal, even though that's just hand tight. See, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good thing, even though that's the cheaper one. So there you go. That's the main difference between solvent weld and push fit. Now you've got the same thing on 1¼ inch, same principle exactly. You can't interchange them, and you know straight away you can't interchange them because one won't fit on the other one. So anyway, that one I've been asked to do that by somebody on YouTube, and which I'm welcome. If anybody else wants anything that I know about and I can explain, I'll do my best to do so. I'll see you on the next one. Bye. Hello everybody, welcome to Tom's Tips, coming at you from Wigan in Lancashire. And today's tip, don't worry, I'm not going to twat anything today. I'm going to show you a proper tip, and it's about solvent weld fittings. 10-15 minutes ago I solvent welded that elbow to 2 pipes and it's stuck. As you know, with this stuff, when it's stuck for life. And it's called solvent weld, and it's called solvent weld because it actually does weld the pipe to the fitting. And that's why I've used black pipe. No, I've not. That's why I've used white pipe and a black fitting. Because when I get it apart, you'll see that the pipe is black at the end because that has melted itself into that. Now, to get it apart, it's a bit tricky. You wouldn't normally try it, but you never know. You might cut a pipe just too short or just too long, and you wish you hadn't done it. And it's a last-ditch resort for getting them apart before you go running off to the shop for another elbow or another pipe. And you need to be delicate. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to warm this up with a lamp, and I'm going to get it to if I get it too hot, I'll burn it. If I get it not hot enough, it won't work. You've just got to get the right temperature. So we have a go. You don't want to do it like that, really. Oh, bloody hell, that's a phone going. Don't worry, I'm not going to hit the phone. See, you can see how that's welded. I'll answer that later. So like I was saying, you can see how it's welded itself to that pipe. Oh, I've answered the phone. Hello, yeah? That's me.